Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video of question paper analysis. As you know, I'm analyzing the question paper of Forest Ranger 2023. Now I have already completed 4 questions and I am into the 5th number question, which relates to the Constitution of India. And in Constitution of India, I am into the salient features. I have already completed 7 salient features which are recorded in the previous videos. So let's give a quick recap. So what are the salient features of the Constitution? First salient feature of the Constitution is the lengthiest written Constitution. So Indian Constitution is the lengthiest written Constitution. What is second? Second is it is borrowed from various other constitutions. In Ambedkar's words, it is known as a ransacking of other constitutions. Number 3 is it is rigid and flexible. That means it is rigid. It is neither rigid as like the Constitution of America and it is not flexible like the Constitution of British. Fourth is federal system of government with a unitary bias. What does it mean? It means it has 2 forms of government. One is at the central level and another is in the state level. Number 5 is parliamentary form of government, which is also known as cabinet form of government and which is also known as prime ministerial form of government, which is very important. Number 6 is parliamentary sovereignty and judiciary supremacy. And the number 7 is independent and integrated judiciary. What is independent? It is independent from the executive and the legislature. What is executive? Executive here means the government. And what is parliament or legislature? It is the parliament. Now, one of the most important salient features which I am going to present today is the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights. Now, this is called basic freedom. Basic freedom given to humans by Constitution of India. Constitution. Now, these rights cannot be taken up or violated by the legislature, neither it can violate by the executive. What does this executive means? Executive means by the government. What does the legislature means? Legislature means the parliament. Now, if someone's right is violated, suppose my right to equality has been violated. Where do I complain? I complain to the Supreme Court of India. I can directly go and file a petition in the Supreme Court that my right has been denied or violated. Supreme Court under which article? Article number 32. This is very important. When your right is violated, you can directly file a petition in the Supreme Court of India under Article 32. Under Article 32 gives you the power to file a petition. Now, what is the article in High Court? In High Court, it is 226. 226. These 2 articles are very important. Now, what are the fundamental rights? There are 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, educational and cultural rights, and right to constitutional remedies. Now, each of has different articles. It is very easy to learn articles in this format. Right to equality is from Article 14 to 18. I will go into the detail of the right to equality. So first, rights is right to equality. So let's write right to equality. Now, from which article this right to equality falls? From Article 14 to 18. So now Article 14 says right to equality against law. Right to equality of law. Let's just write equality of law. Whatever the provisions written in the Constitution, everyone, irrespective of caste, creed, race, anyone, richness, poorness, everyone will be equal before the law. No one is superior than law, no one is inferior in law. That is the 14th article, which is under right to equality. Now, what is 15? Prohibition of. Article 15 says prohibition of discrimination on the basis of race, gender, caste, and birthplace. Prohibition of discrimination on the basis of caste, race, sex, and birthplace. Nowadays, no one can embarrass or insult a person on the basis of caste, race, sex, or birthplace. This is under Article 15 of Prohibition of Discrimination on Caste, Race, Sex. Now, what is 16? 16 says equal opportunity for public employment. 16 says equal opportunity. Equal opportunity for public employment. What does it mean? That every individual have right to apply for the public employment. There's a procedure. There should be an advertisement calling for invitations to apply for the public employment. Without publication or without publicly announcing that there are certain jobs needed to be filled up, the government cannot fill such posts. Now there are questions. This equality opportunity for public employment, this doesn't arise out of the reservations. Reservations is a different aspect, but equal opportunity, each and everyone have an equal opportunity under Article 16 to apply for the public employment. Now what is 17? 17 is abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability. There was a time in the history of India where Brahmin used to treat other people as the slaves, untouchables. They cannot drink water from a community well. They cannot use toilet of the community. Their children cannot study with the children of the Brahmins, upper caste. And one of the most important example is the Ambedkar. The way he wrote a reply to the Mahatma Gandhi. When you have time, please do read that book. It says the harassment which they felt, the untouchables felt at that particular point of time. So, abolition of untouchability. Because of their deeds, because of that incidents, the untouchability needed to be there in the Constitution. The topic of untouchability should be mentioned in the Constitution because of the deeds which happen against the untouchables, against the lower caste peoples. So nowadays there is no untouchability. You cannot ask or treat people untouchables. That is a 17th article of the equality, right to equality. Now what is 18? 18 is abolition of titles. Abolition of titles. Nobody can use Bharat Ratna something, Bharat Ratna Indira Gandhi, Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar. They cannot address themselves like that. Only two titles can be kept. One is academic title, like doctor, and another is military title, like captain, brigadier, and as such, military title. Military title. So right to equality means you are equal before others. There are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 articles in the right to equality. Let's give a brief quick recap of this. What is right to equality? Right to equality in 14 is equal before law. Equal before law. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination. Prohibition of discrimination. And Article 16, I forgot Article 16, equality, equal opportunities. Equal opportunities in public jobs. Public jobs. Article 16, abolition of untouchabilities. And the last is abolition of titles. So this is all about right to equality. Next fundamental right is right to freedom. Right to freedom, let's write it down. Right to freedom. Now it was an article of 19 to 22. Now under freedom, there are 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 freedoms allowed by the Constitution of India. What are the freedoms? First is right to speech. Speech, what does it mean? You can speak anything you want in any domain, in public or with your friends. You have the right to speech, but conditions applied. Those speeches should not be controversial. Those speeches should not create this harmony between two communities. It cannot cause a conflict between two communities like Hindu and Muslim. Other than you got right to speech. Number 2 is right to organize meetings. You can call a strike. You can organize rallies against the government. You can organize rallies for protesting something. But conditions apply. These organizations or meetings should be non-violence. If you use violence, that means you are destroying some other person's fundamental rights. Then your fundamental rights will get automatically nullified. Third freedom is from union of associations. What does it mean? It means you can form any associations you want. You can form any associations with 5 people, 10 people, as much people you want. You can form associations with different mottos, different goals, aspirations, etc. You have the freedom to form associations. Number 4 freedom is movement. Right to movement. If you're residing within Assam, you can move freely without taking permission in Kolkata. You can move freely to Kerala. You can move freely to Gujarat. That is right to movement. And 5th freedom is right to reside and settle. A person from Assam can reside anywhere that he wants within the territory of India. You can reside in Mumbai, you can reside in Delhi, you can reside in Bihar, you can reside in any, that is reside and settle, right to reside and settle. And the number six, last is professional and occupational rights. You have the right to freedom to do any profession you want. You have the right to freedom to choose any occupations. Our business is the right to profession and occupation. These are the freedoms under Article 19 given speeches, organized meetings, union, association, movement, reside and settle, and profession and occupations. Now, Article 20 of right to freedom. Under Article 19, I have explained six right to freedoms. Now, in Article 20, what does it say? Protection in respect of conviction of offense. Protection in respect of conviction of offense. What does it mean? Suppose a person is convicted for 20 years. The Honorable Court have pronounced a judgment against the accused that he has been convicted for 20 days or 20 years. Now, will he be treated inhumanly? No. He will have right to live, right to health. He will get food, proper clothes, respect in the behind the bars, and if injuries happen or his health deteriorated, he will get all the medical checkups as like the pre-trial detention prisoners. That is about Article 20, protection in respect of conviction of offense. So next article under right to freedom is Article 21. What does this Article 21 says? Right to live and personal liberty. Personal liberty. What does it mean? Right to live. You have the right to live. And for living a standard life, a respected, dignified life, there is some rights. For example, under this article, you have first is right to privacy. You have privacy, so no one can click photographs without your consent. There's a privacy to it. It's a fundamental right. Number two is right to live. You have right to live. No one can deny you for living. No one can kill you as they want. That is right to live. Number third is right to health. Right to health. The government of India or any government under the Constitution of India have given right to health. Health must remain free of cost. It is a fundamental right to health. Now, right to have legal aid. What does legal aid means? Legal aid means if you don't have money to contest in the court, the government will provide you a free of cost advocate, which is known as Legal Aid Defense Counsel. Number fifth is against separate jail. Against separate jail. What does it mean? It means that It doesn't matter you are a billionaire. It doesn't matter you are a celebrity. You should remain at a particular jail where other convicted individuals are living or staying. You will not get a VIP suit or VIP jail for you because you are a billionaire or some sort of celebrity. You have to remain at a common jail chambers. Number six, sixth is against hanging in public. So in movies, you have seen that people are hanged in the public and there will be chaos in the public and there are flow of emotions and everything. But it is illegal in India. There are some countries in which it is legal, but according to the Indian constitution, it is against the fundamental rights. No one can hang in public. Now, sixth is over. Now, seventh, freedom. Seventh is right against violence. So suppose you are at such certain situations and you hit a person. That is right against violence. The particular person can go to the court and file a complaint petition against you that you have violated the fundamental right of his. You have chose violence against him. So there will be case in you. That is right against violence. Number fourth is right against late hanging. Hanging. What does it mean? It means that when the court gives you a hanging death penalty, and the court decides a fixed time for that hanging purpose. The Kasab was hanged at a particular point at a particular time. If somehow there is a lapse in execution of hanging at that particular time or at that particular point, then he will not be hanged later. At that specific point, that person should be hanged. That is a fundamental right, and you cannot be the fundamental right against late hanging. If the execution is not done at that moment, then he will not be hanged later on. 6, 7, 8. Foreign travel. Foreign travel. You can travel foreign also, but there is certain conditions you need a passport for it, and there will may be denial of passport if there is a case against you. So there is no against in traveling foreign, but if there is case against you, then you cannot get a passport and you cannot travel to the foreign. Number 7 is number 9 is labor, right against bonded labor. What does this bonded means? Bonded labor means no one can forcefully ask or force you to do his job. You have a right or freedom of choosing your own job. Nobody can force you. It is against the fundamental rights of freedom. No one can make you bonded labor. Number 10. Number 10 is right to sleep. Right to sleep. Yes, you do have a fundamental right to sleep. You have freedom of sleep. Whenever you want, you can sleep. That's us right to sleep. Now the third and now the seventh, I guess. No, I guess I forgot the continuation of the points. Next is right against noise pollution. Against noise pollution. So it is also a fundamental right. Suppose there is a party going on in your neighbor till there's a permission till 10th and they are playing loud music at 1 o'clock, you have the fundamental right to register a complaint against your neighbor that your fundamental right has been destroyed or denied. The right against noise pollution. Right to have electricity. So these are fundamental rights most of the people don't know. So we are blessed enough to have electricity in our houses, but there are some places in certain parts of the country that electricity is a gem. Still now, there are some villages in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Orissa and Jharkhand, the tribal areas of the Jharkhand and Orissa, there is no electricity at this particular point of time. But right to have electricity is a fundamental right. The government should provide electricity to every spheres, every households in the country. Now, last is right to respect. Right to respect women. You must respect women. Why it is included in the Constitution of India as a fundamental right to respect women? Why? Because the makers were aware of the fact that in the history of India, women were treated very rudely, badly. All the rights were taken from the woman at that particular point of time. Women are the nourishers of the children only. They have no identity of their own. They were not regarded as a leaders. They were not given opportunity to be a leader, opportunity to be a minister, opportunity to be a queen. So the Constitution of India have mentioned as a fundamental right under the right to freedom that every woman deserves respect from men or other women also. Now this is all under Article 21, right to live and personal liberty. And the last article under Article 22 is, let me check, protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Article 22 says protection against arrest in certain cases. What does it mean? So police cannot arrest like a routine manner. So if the police thinks during the course of the investigation, if they thinks that arrest is not required or arrest is not mandatory if you are cooperating with the investigations. So maybe the sections, the offenses which you have committed be bailable or non-bailable. So what is bailable? Bailable means you cannot be forwarded to judicial custody. What is judicial custody? Means jail. Now what is non-bailable? Non-bailable means you will be forwarded to the judicial custody, means jail. Now if it is non-bailable and the punishment is 7 years or less than 7 years. If the punishment is 7 years or less than 7 years, there is a judgment called Ernest Kumar, State versus State of Assam. Let's write this. There is a judgment called State of Assam versus Ernest Kumar. What does it say? That even if the sections or the offenses which are committed by the accused persons are non-bailable in nature and the punishment is less than 7 years, then he can be released by the police or investigating authority by serving a notice under section 35(3) of BNLS. So this is the protection against arrest in certain cases. So that's all for today's video. I have completed right to equality and right to freedom. And there are 4 more rights in the next video. I will try to complete in the next video. Thank you for watching and appreciate it.